Hello, CIS students. I want to talk about the PowerPoint for Chapter 3, hardware, computer hardware. And as you all know, you hear about, they say computer software, computer hardware. One way to look at it is hardware. You can touch the hardware of, when we are talking hardware, you can touch it. It has a physical, presence. It's just like a mouse. It's just like a printer. It's just like anything that you can. But usually when they talk about software, you don't see the software. It's more of a program. But anyhow, the purpose of this chapter is learning about different types of computers, input output devices, and how to maintain hardware components. And we want to identify each component of a hardware, and then other issues, and we will talk about them. And types of different types of computer hardware, and we are going to talk about CPU, central processing unit of computers. And as you all know, when we are talking about CPUs, sometimes we are talking about how efficient our computers can do the tasks. And these central processing units, as you all have heard, is you look at your computer and it tells you, suppose it might have, my computer says that Intel, for example, Core, it has a number 15, and therefore it is you hear. And also you hear some terms about GPU, graphical, processing units, and therefore those are more, powerful and advanced, processing units that your computers have. Maybe many times in gaming they use, GPUs. And then, about this chapter talks about, random access memory. When you buy a computer, you want to make sure that it has, enough memory, and that is under that. We have virtual memory and swap file memory and read-only memories, RAM, and BIOS, basic input and output of computers, and other issues. And we come here, this is PowerPoint 8, that talk about what are the input devices, what are the output devices. Input devices are what you use to input the information in the computer. You use keyboards to touch, to type something. You use mouse. These are called input devices. Output devices are like printers, speakers, Therefore, these are the different, components of hardware. And here are different, common types of random access memory. And these are different types of them. And it says volatile and non-volatile. And suppose flash memory, you are more familiar with that. Fast type of memory that typical is less expensive, and you have heard of that. And non-volatile, that means that it is more, permanent. And visually identifying components, hardware, and about memory cards, flash drive, and external. That means that sometimes you need a lot of, storage. And by doing so, therefore, let's not forget the computers have memory and they have storage. Storage is more of a permanent, devices than memory that, is more, think about it as, more short term. And sometimes if you need a lot of storage, you can buy one of these hardware devices. And also internal hard, the hard drive is where this is located in the computer, and therefore, and this is external, and memory cards, and these are also external. You save information on these US flash drives. As you all know, these are disappearing, and now we have more memory cards In fact, I need to buy a flash drive. A few days ago, I went to the Walmart. They did not have, the flash drive. I couldn't find. Therefore, I bought memory cards. And these were very interesting. When I bought them, I noticed that, they had two components. One was that the card itself, and one was the adapter. That means that there was a small piece as the memory card itself and the adapter. I had to put the adapter and then they put the card inside the adapter to save the documents. Therefore, we want you to be familiar with this, terminologies and what they are. When you go to the stores like Walmart, Best Buy, I highly recommend go to different departments and look at this, what they are offering, and you will learn a lot. And then we have the information that is transferred. Before many years ago, we had the analog way of transferring information. Now we have digital information. That means that is transferred through binary system and bit and byte. For example, they are in the form of on and off. Let's say when you type A on your, you use your keyboard, you type A, the computer doesn't see it as the letter A. What it sees as some lights go on and off, for example. There are 8 of them. Let's say if 2 of them are on, 8 of them are off, that means you have typed A. If, let's say, 4 of them are off, 4 of them are on, that means you have typed B. And that's why we have the computers use this on and off to send the information. That means when you send an email to your friend or someone, this information on and off goes through the system, through the media, and reaches the other computer, and the other computer decodes it and sees this on and off. If it sees 4 ons and 4 offs, the meaning of it means you typed B, for example, in your computer. That's how the information is being transferred through the computers. And then the storage solutions, as you see, this is a hard drive. This is a drive that you have purchased, and you can connect to your computer, and this has a lot of storage in it. And then there are other internal components, and here it talks about optical. When it talks about optical, about the light, fiber optics you have heard. Usually when it say optical, you see shiny and bright here, therefore we become familiar with the information. And these days, as you all know, we are even using, eliminating those hard drives that we attach to our computers, flash drives, and we are saving more, information on the cloud, which is more convenient. Why it is more convenient? Because it is accessible. These days we always have, most of the time we have access to the internet. If the information is saved there, we can easily, get the information. And these are some devices, some tools that we can save. We can save things on Google Drive, Dropbox, and Microsoft OneDrive. And by doing so, we save money, instead of going to Walmart and buying, storage devices. And you all know about different computers. I know you know what laptop is, desktop is, and you all know all about this information. And then here we are talking about all-in-one computer, which means these are devices that you don't need to buy a separate printer, separate, tower. They are all in one computer. And then we come here, what laptop is, what tablet is. You already know that this is, going to be a kind of tablet. You know that this one in here on the left, is a laptop. Therefore, they all have different advantages and disadvantages, and you already know. And when you buy a computer, you want to know what platform they are going to use, what kind of hardware they use, what are their specifications, and therefore these are things you want to know. And then hardware to consider when you want to buy a computer. You want to see what kind of processor they are using, the memory of the computer, how much storage they have, and therefore how compatible they are with other devices, and hardware to consider where, these, fonts are very small. Therefore, I will skip that. And we come here, and you know what desktop is, or what kind of, the output devices, input devices they have. And these are something many of you already know about these issues. And you already we talked about input devices, and most likely these are the input devices again that you use to put information in computers. We come here, and these are output devices, and you all know what these are. And we go here, and how to install computers. Plug and play, the meaning is that these days when you buy a computer, all you have to do, you just buy it and plug it, and you are able to use it. Many years ago, it was not like that. If you bought a computer, let's say 30 years ago, maybe you had to bring a big-time computer guru to, put it together for you. But these days, things are, plug and play. And here is maintaining hardware. When you buy a computers, you want to make sure, they know about the issue of troubleshooting and how to maintain your computer to make sure that, it lasts longer and your data is safe. And then you will have, how your computer measure how your computer is performing, and all these issues, and how to troubleshoot your computer. And you might run into any of these issues, and therefore you have to, know what to do in case of, what you have to do to make sure your computer runs effectively. And there are different, issues that might happen to your computer. Kind of keyboard might not working, a speaker might not working, fan. One issue is that if you run into these problems, I strongly recommend just go to ChatGPT and explain what the problem is, and hopefully you can find an answer, there. And of course, you have to. If you have to take it to fix it for you, then you have, and how to troubleshoot external drive, viruses. It might be problem with viruses, and there are damages and all these issues that might happen. And these are other issues that might, run into when you're working with a computer. And make sure that you clean the computer, make sure that, the air vent is free, and, therefore, these are things that many of you know. And some computers, some people, some organizations, they like to have an interruptible power supply. Let's say you have a power outage and you want to make sure your computer is running. Of course, we don't get into those in our personal computer, but organizations, sometimes they like to have, and sometimes, we have the power that might, fluctuate, electric power, therefore, surge suppressor. And these are the devices that they use in some of the companies, organizations to, make sure that their computers are running smoothly.